What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Nobody's Favorite Podcast. It has been a while, but I am back. Finally, had to take a break. We had an election season going on. Your boy was actually running for office. Didn't get the one I wanted, but I got one of them. You know what I mean? So it was all right. It worked out. It worked out. So your boy won his first election. So that was cool. That was cool. But yeah, today we'll get into that later on. But right now we got a childhood friend of mine with us today. Somebody who I grew up with, known him since we were knee high, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my boy Skinner, man. Everybody give it up for him. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Congratulations on the election. I wasn't aware that you won. I shared your post, but I wasn't aware that you actually won.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Well, what
man.
office did you get, if you don't mind me asking?
So I was running for borough councilman, and unfortunately, like the Democrats completely swept this election. I don't want to say unfortunately because some of them have good policies. I'm a policy over personality guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a
Yeah,
shit what
absolutely.
party you're in. As long as your policies are straight, we're good. But I ended up getting elected to judge of elections. So yeah, it's essentially what that is like on election days, I'm there. I oversee all of the polls in the area. In my area, I oversee the staff there. I tally the votes. Then I certify the election, and yeah. So
Oh,
it's gonna be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. That's a big one. I know that office. That's definitely a
Yeah,
good position.
yeah,
It's not
absolutely,
easy to get
absolutely.
into either, especially with all of the political stuff going on.
I remember first thing I think of when I think about that office is back in Florida when we had to do the recounts. Clearly,
Yeah,
they judge of elections wasn't doing his job because those
yeah.
counts wasn't right. We couldn't get that number certified during that time.
Yeah, they just came out with another one. It was one of the states with the M, Michigan, Minnesota. It was one of those where the election judge lady, she's supposed to have the monitors there and all of that. She told them that all of the votes was counted and sent them home early, and then there's logs of us scanning in ballots after they left. So they
Interesting.
doing a recount again right now.
It's crazy, bro. Like, I mean, then you got
Yeah,
the thing just came out where they got the footage now of the J6 pipe bombers, the lady who put the pipe bombs in the boxes and such. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's a lot of things that come out later on after the fact, and
yeah.
it's
They
just
expect us to not be paying attention that far down the line.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
then
They
how
try
many
to
years?
hit us
Two,
with all
three
this other
years
stuff.
later.
You know, exactly.
Exactly. 2, 3 years later, it comes out, they feel like we'll probably be so overwhelmed, like we would be more overwhelmed with what's going on right now with the Epstein files and everything to even remember anything about January 6th.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And like they'll want us to be so confused and like, oh yeah, yeah, this is all going on, but nah, pay attention to this Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what y'all care about. Pay attention to this Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. There's always something.
Always
There's
something,
always
bro.
there's always there's always a bigger distraction. If you I don't know if you recall, but if you've seen when they had Diddy plastered all over the news, if you read the little,
The
the
little
news
tickers at
goes
the
across
bottom.
the bottom of the screen,
Hmm.
that's where all of the political information was. But the
Yep.
main topic was Diddy.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
it's always something.
It's always something, and they always gonna try to pull the wool over our eyes or try to make us believe that we didn't see what we actually just saw. We don't believe the truth. What we
Yeah,
believe
that's
is fabricated.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest things. I don't like to don't insult my intelligence. I don't like that. Like,
Hmm.
present us with the facts and let us make our own decision. Don't selectively give us the facts in the order that you want them to come out so that we come to the conclusion that you came to or we support whatever your point is.
Yep.
Let us make our own decisions. I
Yep.
don't I don't like that. I don't like to be influenced like that.
Yep, that's what they do all the time, and they try to influence with the media and all this other shit, mainstream media, MSM, and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk to you today, man. I see on social media. Obviously, I'm in Pennsylvania. You're in New York. Though we
Yeah.
grew up in the same neighborhood, it's been a long time since we've been around each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I see a lot of your posts and your comments on social media, and I'm like, you know what? He seems to be in tune with what's going on. You know what I mean? A lot of people from our area, all they give a shit about is when the new exclusive release Jordans come out, when the new Travis Scott editions is coming out, all this extra stupid shit. Like,
Yeah.
was
I mean,
LeBron better than
that's the
Jordan?
world.
Who cares, right?
Yeah. That's the world we grew up in. They distract themselves from the situation they're in.
That's a fact. We distract ourselves with bullshit media and fucking weed and henny and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
That's really what it is.
yeah. Because it's hard to actually look at your own situation. It's hard to judge yourself.
That's what
That's
it
why
is. A
you see
lot of
so many people who be going through their own shit, but they'll rather talk about celebrity bullshit or somebody else's shit because it's easier to talk about somebody else's problems than it is to focus on your own.
you hit the nail on the head right there, and that's the accountability. A lot of people don't got the accountability to where
Yeah,
they wanna take responsibility for their own actions. Everybody wanna blame somebody else. "Oh, I'm being oppressed. It's we can't get no jobs because we black." Come on,
that's one of my bro. That's one of my biggest things. I say that all the time. I'm so sick of the professional victim mindset. Everybody's a victim of something. There's always something to cry about. It's like, bro, I'm sometimes it's valid, but like if you wake up looking to be a victim or trying to figure out how you could be a victim today, I don't respect it.
absolutely. I feel that makes me think of, I think it was Cat Williams, one of the comedians, when he was like, "Niggas just wake up upset, like you gang banging on bacon, bro." Like you
Yeah,
wake up with this victim mindset, like you just woke up feeling like you were in a cell, bro. Like you didn't like nothing was happy about today. You didn't look over and see your child or your woman or nothing. Like
yeah, and
you ain't
everything
wake
is
up to no
always
lights on
somebody
your
else's
picks.
fault.
Everything's always somebody else's fault. Why they can't get a job, why they can't keep a job, why they
Yeah,
live where they live. Like everything is
yeah.
always somebody's fault, man.
Hi,
Got the little one over there. Nice.
come say hi, and then you go play.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Give him
look,
some airtime.
say hi.
What's
Hi.
up, buddy? Hi. It's the future right there, man.
Okay. He don't want to watch Paw Patrol. Go ahead, go.
Oh, trust me, I've seen every episode 1,000 times with my kids.
Yeah, me too. Huh? Go. I'm coming. Go ahead. Go watch Paw Patrol.
Gotta love it, bro. Gotta love it. Yeah, man. So on this topic, right? So we're talking about policy and politics and XYZ. So let's start local, right? Let's start and then we'll broaden our horizons across the country.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all got a new mayor out there, right? Y'all got
Yeah.
Mayor Zoran Mamdani, or however you pronounce his name, right? So being from New York but not living in New York, I have a somewhat understanding of the man's policies. It seems wild the promises that he's made.
Yeah.
Like having $30 an hour minimum wage in New York by 2030, free public transportation, um, city-owned grocery stores. Like, what
Yeah. I have opinions on all of those things.
yeah, I love to
You
hear
know,
him.
a lot of the stuff he said is just, excuse me.
No, you good.
A lot of it is just political banter. He know he can't accomplish a lot of that stuff. Some of it is a good idea. I'm not going to say it's not. Some of it sounds great. Is it realistic? Not really. Like the $30 an hour by 2030, it sounds great. And New York really needs it, expensive as everything is, especially real estate and housing. You see how long it took us to get to $20 an hour? You're gonna jump $10 in the next 5 years? I don't see that happening. The free bus thing, it sounds good, but I feel like if that was to go into operation, it would be like the dollar vans in Jamaica. It's not going to be a good experience.
So here's my idea with the free bus thing, and I don't mean to interject and cut you off, brother.
No, no, no.
But for me, the free bus thing is one of the most it's it's the carrot in front of the horse, right? This is what you tell people to get them to vote for you, but it's not tangible because like there's so many different aspects of it, right? So say you got free buses. Okay, cool. We already know how 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 poorly kept and how shitty the subway system is with homeless people being in there, the smells,
It's
everything.
terrible.
It's terrible. So
Literally, I had an argument. Guy was trying to smoke crack on the train while everybody was sitting there.
it's insane. So that's the subways, right? The one public transportation that you had that wasn't going on was the buses. Well, now if you have free buses, what stops homeless people from going on the buses now? What stops them from just hanging out on the buses all day?
That accompanied with cutting the police force. You think social
That
workers are going to get
accompanied
them
with
off these
cutting the
buses?
police force, right? So now you got junkies and addicts, the homeless ones that are addicts. Not all homeless people are addicts. I don't want to put that out there. Some people are just displaced and in unfortunate
Yeah, some people
situations.
fall on hard times. I knew
Yeah,
a
I've
couple
been
of
in the
people. Yeah,
situation before.
yeah,
But you got people who do have negative attributes in these locations where kids take city buses to school. Older people take city buses to their community centers, to their family, to their doctor's appointments, all of these things. Now you have all these unsanitary people on the bus. That's one problem, right? Then you get into the problem of, well, the buses are already overcrowded. Now, if you don't even have to pay to get on the bus, it was crowded when you did have to pay. Now you don't have to pay. Now it's ridiculous. So the only way to ease that is putting more buses on the road. Now, when you put more buses on the road, you have more traffic and congestion. So now how do you ease that?
Well, with the
You spread
congestion prices, there's no
exactly,
fucking cars in Manhattan, so you can have all the buses
exactly.
you want. Nobody
But
wants to
but
pay that, so there's no buses in the
but
Midtown.
you still got you don't have congestion pricing yet in Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, anywhere else,
No, not yet.
anywhere else.
Good job.
So these free buses will be all over the city. That's increasing traffic everywhere.
Yeah, one of
So
the
now,
details I was wondering about that is, are these free buses supposed to replace city buses or in addition to city buses?
and that was a thing I had questioned too, because if the buses are free, you still have to maintain the buses. You still have to buy the buses. You still have to
You still
pay
have to
for
pay the
gas.
drivers.
You still have to pay the driver. So where does this money come from if there's no fare? That's tax money. So now taxes are going to go up substantially. Payroll
Yeah, well, he
taxes,
wants to raise the tax
everything.
rate from. He said he already said he wanted to raise the tax rate from 48% to 50%,
Hmm. And it would
and
have to be
everybody
more than that.
says exactly it would have to be way more than that, especially in addition to open city-owned grocery stores, because
So
all
the
of this
city,
stuff has to be funded from somewhere.
absolutely. Now the city-owned grocery stores makes me scared because city-owned grocery stores means that the city regulates it. It means that the city gets to decide what type of food is in there. GMO products, Bill
Yeah.
Gates lab meat, all of that
Yeah, well,
can be
I
in
see
there.
that. Yeah, yeah, but I see that as not replacing our grocery stores that we use now, just like in addition to, we're in the city, so there's not really food deserts, but there is a lot of places where it's hard for older people to get to supermarkets and stuff like that. Now, my biggest concern with that is when they start opening these city supermarkets all over the place. You know how the city does. The city's going to cut contracts with all of these vendors and distributors for lowball prices for bulk buying and items, which means us regular people who go to the regular supermarket and Target and all of that stuff, our prices got to skyrocket at some point.
Yep. Yep, and that's the incentive that's gonna force you into the city-owned grocery stores where you don't have any oversight over the products, the produce, anything that you're buying. You don't know where it's coming from, what farm it's coming from, where the city is sourcing it, if it's lab made, if it's organic, if it's GMO, like, there's no way to find these things out. And another thing that kind of scares me is that once these, like the Pathmarks and the Western Beef start going out of business because their prices are too high and they can't afford to pay their employees because it's $30 an hour now, minimum wage. If the city owns the grocery stores, do you have to be a city employee to work there now? Like, do you got to go through tests, do the different testing, and get city authorization to be like a garbage man or anything like that, or the or parks department to work at a grocery store now?
Yeah, you might have to get a food handler or something.
Yeah, so now there's a whole nother process to it. So I don't see how that is beneficial at all, honestly. And the governor, Hochul, she's um combating it. She's saying that she's not gonna do it.
Oh yeah, she already shot that down because
Yeah, she
this is
shot it
and
down.
and this was another thing where I say they believe we just don't pay attention. She already said a year ago or 2 years ago, good job, that she was not raising taxes, not on us or not on the rich. So for all of his plans to rely on raising taxes, which she came out again after she won and reiterated that she's not raising taxes. So pretty much he did what they always do. They sell us a dream to get into office, and then
Mhm.
those dreams evaporate. We,
Yep.
and then my thing is like I've been a Democrat my whole life. My thing is like at what point do we get tired of the same old? Like they just tell us anything. And then every time a new one comes around, like this time it was Mamdani. Every time somebody comes around is, oh, he's the one. He's gonna do it. No, they're not. All of that stuff he told us sounded good. They play on our emotions too much, and people let it happen every time. Like they
Mhm.
don't think critically. Like if they was thinking about that, they know the governor said no to all of this prior, and then he ran on doing everything that she said he's not going to be able to do. and then we vote him in, thinking that he's going to accomplish these things. And I'm not saying everything was a bad idea. If he accomplishes half of what he said he was going to do, that would be a great thing. That would be He'll be the first politician in New York City history to actually do what he said he was going to do. But some of the stuff doesn't seem feasible, especially with the fact that he doesn't have the support of the governor at all.
Yep. Absolutely. Doesn't have the support of the governor. He doesn't have the support of the millionaires and billionaires in the city, the people who call the
A lot of them
shots.
already said that if he decides to try to raise taxes, those 2%, that they're leaving. And people don't realize that. People think we pay a lot in taxes, but the millionaires and billionaires that live in New York City pay 48% of the taxes in the city.
Exactly.
Everybody says that, oh, rich people don't pay tax. No, they pay most of the
They
taxes.
do.
If most of them leave, or they decide to, hey, I'm going to spend 51 days in Florida and make Florida my legal residence, and I'll just come back to New York back and forth. If they stop paying taxes here, our city, the shit will crawl to a stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People talk about, oh, these billionaires get tax breaks. Yes, on their companies. They still pay personal income tax.
Yeah, and yeah,
Like they
exactly,
still pay a personal income tax. They get
exactly,
breaks for their companies. That's different.
exactly.
It's two different
Yeah, and
things.
and my thing is listen, they do get large breaks. I'm not going to
No, they
deny they
do.
get
They
large breaks,
do.
but they get these large breaks and still pay millions in taxes even with the breaks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Like
the
people want
crazy
them to
thing
pay
is,
more. It's like, would you want to pay over half of your paycheck in taxes?
there
If
you
you made
go.
$100 and you got to keep 48 of it, you go for that?
There you go. So people don't understand the reality of it, right? Like, and what people don't understand is that these are things that are available to everybody. Like this tax break's available for everybody in every single tax bracket. You just have to figure
Hmm.
out where it is. These companies
That's
figure out where it is. They get their accountants, they get their lawyers, they get these people to figure out how to get the grants, how to get the tax abatements, how to get all of these
mhm.
incentives that
All of these
provide them with these
write-offs.
breaks, right? Everything. They understand who they need to hire, the amount of people that the number of people that they need to hire in this demographic. They
Yeah,
they got it.
exactly.
They get it.
And
So
that's like for us regular people. A lot of people don't realize that, like, that's what marriage is. Marriage is
mhm,
pretty much like a business. Like
mhm,
love comes with that, but
mhm.
marriage is pretty much a business. You get into that for this financial stability. You get those same, not the same tax breaks, but you get tax incentives. There's a lot of things that go along. Like you said, people don't look into this stuff. They don't care to know this stuff. Not that they
They
don't
don't
look
care.
in. They don't care to know.
That's the best way to say it. They don't care to look into it. And I don't wanna blame everybody for it because, like you said, you're a
No.
Democrat. You've been Democrat your whole life. I was I'm a Republican
Yeah, but
now,
I'm
but I
not.
tell
Yeah,
people
that's what I'm saying. I was a Democrat my whole life, but that's not a blind loyalty. Our parents were Democrats. Our grandparents were Democrats.
exactly.
When
So
we
my
start
thing I
looking
tell
at things
people
objectively, especially over the last few years, you start questioning, like you said, you start questioning everything. Or you become more policy over party. Like, listen,
yep, yep,
I'm
like,
supporting what is good, what I support, what I feel like is a good idea, regardless of what party you're in. I don't care if you're Green Party, Independent,
absolutely.
Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter.
I think every party has good ideas. It's just how
Yeah.
they wanna implement them and how they wanna go about it, right? So I tell people all the time, like anytime they ask me about politics, I straight up tell them, like, look, I'm from New York, so I was a pre-programmed Democrat. Like I came out the womb as a Democrat. Like how some people in
Mhm.
LA, when you born a Crip, you born a blood. Like we were born Democrats in New York. Like you have to be. You're
Yeah.
born expected to be on
Yeah,
public
like the whole
assistance.
city.
Eh, Bro,
Your
like you're
parents
born
was like your parents. If you was born in New York and you tried to go home and tell your parents you was turning into a Republican, they might kick you out the house.
bro, you might get jumped in the hood. Like I'm like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about? Because it's
definitely you'll be
automatically
shunned.
definitely
What the
shunned
fuck
because
are you
we
doing?
automatically see Republicans as like racist when like obviously we know like the KKK was the Democratic Party and such.
Yeah.
So it's interesting like the lack of history that people have and the lack of information that they have and how what they like to run off of. But being that pre-programmed Democrat, I didn't I didn't understand. Like I was just like, okay, well, just let everybody do what they want to do. And then when I got older and I had kids, I'm like, nah, everybody can't just do what they want to do. That's a world of chaos and anarchy, bro. Like you can't. Where's the identity? Where's the Democratic Party's identity? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you? Who are you?
Uh,
Yeah.
who was it? One of the political analysts said it better than I could. He said over the last few years, the reason why a lot of people are supporting Trump is because, and Republicans is because Democrats are on the 20% side of every 80-20 issue. Anything that the people are 80% for, Democrats go on the 20% side and they're against it, and
Mhm.
vice versa. And I don't know. My thing with them is just there's just been too much. There's been too much looking for viral moments. Everything is a TikTok moment and fucking Instagram, and you just yelling and screaming about everything with no real substance and repeating yourself. And then, like, even when the evidence points in one direction, they're like, no, 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 look over here at what I'm saying.
You're
It's like,
absolutely right.
you
You're
know, it's
absolutely
like, come
right.
on, man. I'm not, I'm not ignorant. I can decipher through the bullshit. I can come up with my own opinions. I don't need you to tell me how to feel. That's my thing.
Mhm. And so with that, it's like they're telling us how to feel, but they don't even know what they wanna promote, right? So, like, one minute, it's you got Kamala Harris, she got Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion and Democratic Party's hip hop. Next minute, it's let's do LGBTs and all of these different things like this. Like, so what who are you focused on? Because you can't be focused on everybody. It just doesn't work like that, man. You can't
Yeah,
spread
and
yourself so thin, spread your party so thin that you just nobody even knows what you stand for.
yeah, you
You know
just
what I mean?
support everything.
Absolutely. Like you just a
Yeah.
yes, you're a yes man at that point. You're just a yes party.
And that's what I'm saying. They just tell us what they think we want to hear and try to play on our emotions.
Hmm. So after having kids
It's
and stuff
worked
and
well for them
seeing
over the years, though.
what it has. But the problem is now our generation's getting older and we're realizing stuff like going to the kids' library and seeing like the gay BCs. What the fuck is this? Why,
Yeah,
what is these books in my children's library for? Back when we were in school, you had to sign a permission slip to to do sex ed in science class. And if
yeah,
your
that's a
parents
fact.
didn't sign it, they sent you to another
Can't go.
classroom during
Mhm.
that class.
Yeah,
That's not a thing anymore. Like the parents don't have a say so in what their children are educated on. It makes no sense.
no,
I get
you
it. I
didn't
get it's
see.
public education, but nah, the parents have to have a say so.
Yeah, but it's not public education when you politicize it.
Hmm.
And yeah, you didn't see that the a lot of people. I don't. It's easy to look up. A lot of people were labeled direct domestic terrorists by the FBI for going to school board meetings and complaining about that shit.
But I've seen people firsthand
Yeah.
removed from school board meetings, like just for asking questions.
My oldest son goes to school. Well, my older two kids live in Connecticut. My son, he's 8 now. When he was 7, so this was last year at the beginning of the school year. They they had all of that going on too, and I had to go from New York 2.5 hours on the fucking Metro North down to Connecticut to his school, and pretty much had an argument with the principal. Like, what the fuck are y'all teaching them? What the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck does that have to do? My son's supposed to be in here learning how to fucking do math and read and learn how to. He's too young for that. He needs to learn the basics of life. And I had to go down there, and after a while, it pretty much boiled down to we're not going to stop what we're doing, but you can opt your son out of certain classes, or on these days when they're doing certain lessons that you don't like, you can. But they try their hardest to keep parents out of the loop when it comes to curriculum and stuff like that. Like,
No, you're
we
right.
used to have control of that stuff. We used to be able to go and help form the curriculum. Not anymore.
Nope. And I
Not at
love
all.
what you just said. So he said that you're able to opt your kid out of it. Well,
Yeah.
why do we have to opt
Why should
out?
I
Well,
have
back
to?
in the day, we had to opt in.
Exactly.
Like
But
why are we
now
having to opt out?
because under the guise of inclusivity, is we're going to teach everybody's history or everybody's biology, regardless to what percent of the population they represent,
Hmm.
which is okay when it comes to actual history and stuff like that. As far as my thing is, right, like when they be having the pride flags and stuff up, it's like, all right, as an adult, I don't care, each his own. But that doesn't represent anything. That flag represents nothing but sexuality. Every color on that flag
That's it.
represents a different sexuality. Why is that up in a kid's school? They're not thinking about sex. Let them
That
be kids.
that's the
Stop
thing. So
involving kids in adult situations. I
you
don't.
can do whatever you want to do in this world, right? If it's as
It's
long as
not my business.
it's not my business, especially sexual matters, because sexual
But
matters are
then when
supposed to
you,
be in your
but
home
then
anyway.
exactly. But then when you make that the forefront of your personality, you can't then be mad when people talk about it.
There you go. So
Whatever
you
you're
can't be
doing, I
mad.
shouldn't know what you're doing. But being that you made it my business, I can form my own opinion.
Absolutely. Right? So
Whether I agree or disagree with it, I can form my own opinion because it shouldn't be my business. And now that you made it my business, I can feel however I want about it.
to me, it's no different from when you're walking down the street and smell somebody smoking a cigarette and you're like, oh, that shit stinks. Okay. You brought your proclivity to my attention. Same way you walking down the street with a rainbow flag on. Or if you're a man, you're walking down the street with a pride shirt on, all you're telling me is that you suck dick. That's it. That's literally all you're telling me.
Oh man.
That's it. Like,
Yeah, but
I'm
like
just being
that's
honest, right?
yeah,
And like,
but that's my thing. My thing about that is like, bro, people these days are they're not ashamed of anything, but they're offended by everything.
there you go. I love that. Nobody's ashamed, but everybody's offended. That's crazy. That is crazy. And to me, honestly, now I don't know, we won't go crazy into this, but to me, honestly, it falls back into like the lack of people's belief in God. Like nobody really wants to believe in God anymore. So nobody has any shame, right? So nobody like people don't have a moral compass. Like, and even if you take God out of it, people don't have any moral compass. Like, where do you get your morality from? What makes you know what good is and what bad is? Like, where did you learn it?
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing too. That's why you
Yeah,
see all of this crazy stuff going on.
absolutely.
These
Abs-
all of these kids killing and stabbing each other. They don't know the difference. Nobody never told them, I'll get my head slapped off for doing something crazy that these
Dude,
kids that these kids get away with. Like,
absolutely, absolutely. Back in the day, like, my mom would tell the teacher to put me on the phone in the classroom and tell me I'm about to get my ass whipped when I get home. Like, there's no discipline for these kids. They're just they're let to run amok. There's not even any consequences. These kids get locked up and get let right out these days. You're shooting somebody up, you're locked up, and they get out of jail in like 2 days.
yeah, I don't know. Reality is shifting. People don't. I don't know.
People, this shit is crazy, man. Let's move on a little bit though, right? So let's talk about Epstein files, man. That's a big thing in news right now, man. So what's your stance
Yeah.
on that?
All right. My thing these days it seems like more of a we want these files to see what any kind of dirt that we can get on Trump to defame him and tear him down. And they don't really care about the victims or the actual or anybody else who's on that list that was actually doing anything else. Everything is about Trump. And then when it turned like, oh, Epstein hated Trump, he didn't like him at this point in time, then it turned into, oh well, he blew Bubba. Like, all right, even if he did blow Bubba, that has nothing to do with this child sex trafficking shit that was going on.
Nothing.
It seems like nobody cares about anything else but getting something on Trump.
But what kills me about that is the ones who are saying, "Oh, he blew Bubba," are the pro LGBT. So if he's blowing Bubba, shouldn't you be supporting him?
But yeah, even if
Like
not, if he did blow Bubba, that's two grown men doing what they want to do.
that's
Who cares?
exactly. And for those who are unfamiliar, Bubba's
That
Bill
wasn't it. But
Clinton.
that
For those who
is
are
how quick
unfamiliar,
that narrative shifted overnight. It was
yep.
he's in the files. He was a pedophile protector. He was probably involved. Then it was like, oh, we see emails saying that this nigga hated him. Now it's like, oh, but he did some gay shit. Like, come on, bro.
So
We're
what's funny about that too, right? Is they were first saying, "Oh, he's in the files, he's in the files, he's in the files," while they had the files Biden's whole presidency. So if he was in the files, y'all would have showed us that he was in the files
yeah, or even if
at some
because
point.
they was sealed. So even if you
So
couldn't show the public, you knew what was in them.
you knew it was in it. You could have alluded to it.
Yeah, they
They didn't even
leaking emails now.
they
They
leaking
could have set up a
emails.
fake leak like they did now.
Absolutely, right? We
That
got
was
we
my
got
thing. Like, even though they were sealed then, they were sealed now, and the same political pressure that y'all putting and the chanting and all of that that y'all doing. Yeah, I could have did that back then,
yep, and the
but
same pressure they put
you
on people
know,
like Julian Assange and Edward Snowden for leaking stuff and whistleblowing. They don't put that type of pressure on people who leak shit that's against Trump.
yeah. Well, I listen. Of course
And
not.
then
Why would they do
when
that?
people leak shit against Hillary, they had to go across the ocean. They had to go across the pond to seek salvation.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
the
they got the support of the people who just want anything. That's my thing. Like, you dislike or hate him so much that you don't care about nothing else.
it's crazy.
That's my thing at this point. Whether like supporter, non-supporter. I was like, I want the truth to come out.
Hmm.
Everybody, if he's in them, he's in them. Let it come out. Everybody. But then my thing is like, you got this guy's brother now, Epstein's brother, coming out saying, "Oh, the Republicans is removing names. They're sanitizing the list. They're removing public Republicans off the list." My thing about that is, right. I got two questions about that. How would he possibly know there's names missing off a list that they haven't put out yet
Yep.
in some secret black site in Virginia? The list is not out yet. So how would you know names is missing? That sounds like you're setting up a narrative to where those names that we thought was on there is not on there. You're gonna say they was removed, and any names that are on there that we thought wasn't gonna be on there, you're gonna say that they added them.
Yep, that
And then
makes
my thing,
sense.
and then my biggest question is, how could he know all of this? How could he have all these intimate details and be able to corroborate that this stuff is true unless he was involved and there himself? Because if it's just that his brother told him, that's hearsay. That's not admissible. So you had to be
Absolutely.
there.
And which
So
blows
then
my mind.
that leads me to like, why is the pedophile's brother, who was estranged from him for like 13 years, have all of this intimate information, and we just accepting it without thinking about how could you have this information? You had to be involved. We're gonna overlook that fact just because he's saying what people want him to say. He's validating people's feelings. So now it's like we're not gonna wonder about how you know all of this to be true.
What blows my mind about that though is they constantly say, "Oh, this was changed. Oh, this was changed." Okay, cool. Well, these are top secret government documents, right? Oh, you have to have
Hmm.
certain security clearance to see these. To
Hmm.
change that is a federal felony. To change anything in these documents. So if they're being changed, why aren't we going after the people? Why aren't we prosecuting the people that are changing them? Why aren't we putting them in jail under federal law?
Yeah.
What's going
That's
on?
another thing that I'm saying. Like, if they created this so-called black site in Virginia so that they could alter these lists and take names off, how the fuck would he know that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has too
Yep.
much information that he shouldn't know for people to just be accepting him as some expert witness.
So
So it's
what's
either you was
crazy?
there and you know and you can validate this stuff because you was there and you're gonna take a plea deal and get arrested too, or this is just some shit that you heard, or you got. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't
It
to
doesn't make
me
sense.
to me, the only way you have information is if you're involved, right? Or
That's what I'm saying.
you have a spy in the mix, right? And if you have a spy in the mix, what made you put a spy in there? What made you put a bug in there to find out this information, right? Because you knew something shady was happening. I mean, that's just cut and dry, right? So there's so many people that are involved in this Epstein shit. It gets to the point where let's take in 2019, right? When they had the the public hearing. I don't know if it was a hearing, whatever. It was like a hearing for Michael Cohen, Trump's attorney at the time. And the delegate for the Virgin Islands,
Oh,
Stacey
Plaskett.
Plaskett.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, she's getting
yeah,
text
yeah, yeah.
messages from Epstein on what to ask this dude
Yeah,
and
they
doesn't
actually
even know
just
what they're
released a
talking about.
oh, you probably didn't see right before we got on, they just released another clip from the Senate hearing where they was pressing him on that. And delegate from Texas, the loud one.
Texas.
Uh damn, why can't I
Who's the
remember her
delegate
name?
of Texas? Well, we can find out
The
right
loud
now.
one who was always yelling. The black one. I forgot her
Jasmine
name.
Crockett.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. I
Yeah.
don't like that one. I don't
She
like
was
her
yeah, I don't she doesn't carry herself professionally enough for me.
at all. She
But
gives us a stereotype, but continue.
yeah, exactly. She gives we having a political debate outside in front of the Reese.
Mhm.
Um, but she was just there, and but the guy. I'm gonna send you the clip actually on Instagram. I literally was just watching it right before I signed on.
Okay.
They was talking about that, and he goes on to say they go on pretty much to defend this lady and say that receiving phone calls or text messages during a hearing is not illegal and all types of crazy shit that they were saying when it was like, yo, you accepted donations from him and you were getting you were getting insight from him on how you could hurt Trump during these hearings live in real time. And he was already a registered sex offender. So you at least knew that much. If you didn't know the depth of what was going on, you knew that he was a registered sex offender because he's been a registered sex offender since like 2009.
Absolutely. And if you can get it, fine. It's not illegal to have phone calls or text messages during a hearing. That's absolutely fine. Understood. Cool. But
No,
guess
it's the
what it is?
content of those
It's
messages.
the content.
I don't even think it's not even the person. It's the content of the
You can't
messages. You
have a
looking for
message.
information to hurt.
Exactly. You can't be corresponding with somebody about the hearing you're currently doing if that person's name isn't on the docket. Only people
Exactly.
who should have access to this hearing or have questions or anything or be involved in the hearing are the people on the docket, the judges, the attorneys, the plaintiffs, the defendants, the witnesses, and etc. If you're not on the docket or an official part of this trial or this hearing, there is no input you should have, period. Because any input on that is
At
circumstantial,
least
it's
definitely
hearsay.
not. Yeah, definitely not influence.
Mhm.
You shouldn't
Absolutely.
have a sitting senator or representative asking this man questions on how on what questions to ask or who this person is. Like she literally asked him like in real time, like he just said this. Who's this? Like you
Who is
wanted
this?
to
She's like,
get
"Is this
any
an
of
acronym?" Like, first of all, if you don't know who these things are, that's even better, like, even shows your delegates, right? The people who voted for you, that you're not paying attention to what the fuck is going on, right? So if you're getting information fed to you, that's not giving your delegates a proper view of who you are. They're gonna assume that you know all of these things when you actually don't. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
yeah. I, I don't know. That's red.
Yeah, man. So
It's
there's
red.
so much going on in politics and everywhere right now, bro. Like me being in Pennsylvania, like I'm a pistol instructor. I got guns. I'm a armed security agent. Like I'm in NRA. I'm in black gun clubs. I'm pro Second Amendment, right? And
Yeah, me too.
there's a there's a lot of states that go against federal law, like New York, right? Where you guys had to change
Yeah.
all of these gun laws because they were unconstitutional, right? Then you
And they
change the gun.
still, and the funny thing is that they still enforcing them under the table. They making it
Mhm.
so difficult, even though that they were forced to change those laws. They make it so difficult for you to get anything. And then they started trying. Then once they made them change the laws, they start saying like, "Well, these are no carry zones." Like, what do you mean? You can't tell me I can't walk through Times Square. Like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
it's crazy, bro. I
Like
could get it as
and
far as like a
everything. Like
school or
eighty
something like
percent of
that.
the city.
But
Like 80% of the city became a fucking no gun zone. Like
yeah,
it didn't make no sense. No sense at all, bro. So
yeah.
I'm all for the Second Amendment, and I'm all for us being able to carry. And I feel, especially being in the
We
state that
only
we
have
have.
all of our other rights because we were legally able to carry. Most of our other rights weren't solidified until the Second Amendment was solidified.
Mhm. Absolutely. What's funny to me is that people will claim, "Oh, gun laws, your gun rights are only for hunting." But nowhere in the Second Amendment does it even
Absolutely
mention
not.
hunting. Doesn't even mention hunting in the
Hunting is
Second
a
Amendment.
hunting is a plus.
It's
Hunting
a
is an add-on.
it's an add-on, it's a benefit, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
to the
it's
to the
not.
right
That's
that we
not at
already
all what it
have,
was for. You have the
and
right
not at
to
all.
defend yourself,
Yep.
and they did that because they realized that exactly what's happening now, what's starting to happen now, what was going to happen eventually. The government was going to overreach
Mhm.
and forget that we are the people are the ones with the power, and they're there because we put them there. They're not there because they're supposed to be there. We put them there, and they are, what they're doing now. They're abusing the people, and they tending to forget that we are the ones who put you there.
Bro, they get that power and they assume that they did it for themselves. Like, "Nah, I got myself here. I'm self-made." Like, you were voted, you were elected in. You
And
said the
they
right
so
things
and
at the
every
right
and then
times. That is it.
yeah, and everybody has this pseudo moralistic view of I know better,
Mhm. Yep. I mean, as
which
soon
is
as
a slippery slope.
what I'm hoping, HR 38, House Resolution 38, the Constitutional Carry Reciprocity Act goes through. Because at that point,
Yeah.
New York can't say nothing to nobody. It doesn't matter if it's Mamdani, Cuomo, Sliwa, Hochul, any of them. I'm coming across that bridge with my pistol. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna protect myself in this state,
Oh, you're
in this
talking about
city.
carry across state lines and all
Yeah,
that,
the
right?
con the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Well,
like,
that's my thing because yeah, that's another thing. Like a lot of people was getting their gun rights restored because people had criminal records and they was taking people's gun rights away, which was unconstitutional.
yeah,
There's no asterisk or fucking subsection to the Second Amendment that says you have the right to carry and defend yourself unless you've been arrested and have a criminal record, or unless that's not how it's supposed to work. That's
it's
another one of
not.
those things where it was a I know better type of situation, and the people didn't stand. Like they say, you don't use your rights, you lose them. So people didn't stand up against the shit that they was trying to push at the time, and then they end up pushing all of these gun laws through, and these even the hate speech laws are unconstitutional.
Mhm.
As long as I'm not inciting violence, I could say fuck whoever I want. Like
Yep.
I'm allowed to have that opinion as long as I don't go punch one. As long as I don't punch somebody in the face because of my feelings, I can say whatever I want. I don't have to like you, just like you don't have to like me. I tell
Yep.
people that all the time. You can call me a piece of shit. Just say it to me nicely.
People don't realize that Constitution, like the Bill of Rights, our first 10 amendments of the Constitution, people tend not to realize like these are public things, right? Like if you're in my house, these rights don't
Private
extend
property.
to private property, right?
Yeah.
So
They only enforce that section of the private property law if you're in a store. If
if
you
you're in,
go in
if something
fucking
that's
Walmart, if you
accessible
go in
to the
fucking
public,
Walmart, yeah, if you go in fucking
yeah,
Walmart or something and you record them, then they say, "Oh, this is private property."
yeah,
But
absolutely,
other
something that
than
has
that,
reasonable expectation to the public. Yep,
exactly.
yep. So, but if you're in somebody's house and you say something wrong, they can kick you out. If somebody tells
Yeah,
you don't bring no guns to my house, that's understandable. I completely understand this. The fact
yeah,
of the matter is, though, New York City doesn't own these public spaces that they're telling people, hey, you can't come in. Like New York City doesn't own Times Square. It's an open air environment.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like the people own it, but the government has them believing that they own it. They're not doing us a favor by letting us access these areas.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So you've got those things like constitutional carry situations, um, which in states like mine in Pennsylvania, you can see how much crime it deters, right? You can
I,
see.
I tell people that all the time. The places where the citizens own the most guns has the least violent crimes. Robberies are down in a lot of these places. You
Like you
know,
see somebody in New York.
shootings might be a little higher, but a lot of those are shootings deterring crime, like you said.
There you go. So you see like the things that you see in New York and you see here don't happen, right? So you see like say it's a group of ne'er do wells, a group of evil doers, right? They out there and they see somebody who looks like a mark. They'll probably rob him in New York. Odds are they're gonna catch him, they're gonna rob him, they're gonna take what he got. In
Absolutely.
Pennsylvania, they might still have that thought of robbing him, but odds are this person's strapped. So
Yeah,
they'll think
they got second
twice.
guess it.
They're gonna second guess it. Even if this person looks like a square, he looked like he's a nerd, odds are he got it on him. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna second guess it. That's a deterrence right there. That's the same deterrence that they expect the police to have. Like if you see a police officer, you expect no crime is gonna happen. Well, okay, I'm my own police officer. You know what I'm saying? Like let me deter crime myself. Because police are reactionary. If something happens to me, they're gonna hear after it happens. I could be bleeding out on the ground already.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So things like
And I
that
have
is
the
just
right to, but you have the right to that. You have the right
mm-hmm,
to protect yourself. You have the right to make sure nothing happens to you or your family. Regardless to anything else, you have that right.
absolutely. You have to be able to
That's
defend
that's
yourself.
yeah, that's always been a thing,
The fact that
especially
some
here in New
states
York.
the fact that some states have to make stand your ground laws is ridiculous. I should be able to just stand my ground by nature, right? Like it shouldn't have to be a law that allows me to
Yeah,
stand my ground in my home. That doesn't make sense.
yeah, it
Like
doesn't because then they put all of these, they when it comes to the law, the wording of the law, there's all of these restrictions that,
mhm.
oh, was the person advancing towards you? Did you actually fear for your life in the moment that you pulled the trigger, or was it before that? Like, it's so much that they put in there to trip you up. Because if it's like I feared for my life 2 minutes ago, but when I got the gun, I wasn't scared no more, and I still shot him. You can go to jail.
Yeah, you can be barricaded in a room and the person's banging on the door. He's in your house. You're in a room. He's banging on the door. Like, come on, I'm gonna saying whatever. You shoot through that door, you're going to jail
Yeah,
because they'll look at it like, yo, he was behind a locked door. Odds are he would have been just left. What do you mean? I'm not gonna
he
take
shouldn't
that
have been
chance that
in
he
here
just
at all.
leaves. Exactly. Shouldn't have been in here at all.
But that's what I say
At
about
all.
I say that all the time about these gun laws. That, oh, we need stricter gun laws. Since when do criminals follow laws? You think this guy that's coming to rob me is about to go apply for a gun license to get a gun?
Give me the percentage of people that you've arrested for gun crimes where the gun was registered in their name. Give me that percentage, please, because I guarantee it's less than 10, less than
Yeah,
5.
absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. Definitely single digits.
yeah, people ain't doing crimes with the guns that they own. It doesn't make sense.
That would be
Who,
stupid anyway.
who, even the rich ones like the cartels, these guns ain't in their names. They multimillionaires, billionaires. These guns ain't in their names. Like,
Hell no.
nobody's doing crimes, no matter how poor or rich you are, with a gun that you own. And if you are, you deserve everything that comes to you along with that,
Yeah,
bro.
that ties into a whole different topic, a whole different rabbit hole that I dove down. Those laws apply. You've noticed how the Constitution says you have the right to keep and bear arms. They can't alter that. So what they did was they changed the name of gun to firearm and made legislation for it.
Yeah.
because they
They
can't legislate arms. I mean, it's a whole different type of constitutional fight if you go to like court and you actually want to fight that shit. It takes a lot of money. You got to go all the way to the Supreme Court and all of that. But
Mhm.
you would definitely win if you could.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. They'll do things like do regulations, right? Like the NFA. They'll regulate things like if you put a I don't know anybody who's doing this, but if you put like a foregrip on a pistol, right? Now it's considered something called an AOW, any other weapon. What? What the fuck is an any other
First thing,
weapon? How is
and
that even classified?
that's another thing that you could take to court and beat because the ATF doesn't have the power to make laws. So them
They
banning all
don't.
of these add-ons and making all of these
Yep.
laws are really just
Yep.
suggestions. They don't have
Yep.
the power to make law at all. They just enforce
They're a
what
law enforcement
Congress and Senate
agency.
already did. They don't get to make law, but what they've been doing lately is they've been classifying things as illegal and then enforcing it,
Yeah.
bypassing the entire process that they're supposed to be doing, which is another example of that governmental overreach we were speaking about.
Yep. There was videos of ATF showing up at people's houses like, "Hey, we have a register of firearms that you have. Can we see these firearms?" First of all, you're not supposed to know what I have. There is no official US registry of who owns what gun.
But
So
there is when you apply. That's the thing.
there you go. So they have the name of all the people that applied and such, but there's not supposed to be any kind of database that anybody can access to say who owns what gun, right? So
Mhm.
especially since all the states' gun laws are different. Like you can be in Florida and do a personal transaction for a gun, but you
Private sellers.
a
If you
private
do
seller.
private seller, you don't have to register the gun or anything if you get it from a private seller. The
There
thing
you
is
go.
that it's hard to get it's hard to find a private seller, and then you kinda gotta befriend them and be cool with them before they'll sell you a weapon.
Or you just go to a gun show and they all do private selling
They
through
all
there.
they Yep, most gun shows have private sellers, that's a fact.
Exactly. So you can't even like the database isn't even accurate. So if you pulling up to my house talking about, oh, so it shows that you've made a suspicious purchase, like you bought 3 Glock 19s last week. Okay, so what? I want one for me, one for my wife, and one for my son. Like, what are you talking about? We all go to the range together. Get off my property. Like they were actually showing up people's houses. Like, what? This is illegal. Why? Number one, did you go to the store and ask them for a list of their customers? Like, how do you know what I have and when I bought it and where I bought it from?
Exactly. Yeah,
It's the
I
shit
don't
is
know.
the shit is
Shit
insane.
is wild, bro.
The shit is insane. Um, so have you been hearing anything about now a lot of people don't know about these things, but like the homeland attacks that we're supposed to be getting, like the Taliban and Al Qaeda plotting all these attacks in America?
Yeah, yeah, they just arrested a terrorist cell. Damn, what the hell was it? It was about a week or two ago. But yeah, they keep catching the Chinese people smuggling all these biological
Mm-hmm.
agents. But that was my thing. If you look, if you go back to the Biden administration when all these people was coming across the border, not talking about Biden, I'm just talking about the time frame.
Yeah, yeah.
If you go back to that, when you look at the videos of all these news stations that was going down there interviewing the migrants that was coming in, if you look and see how many of them was from India, Pakistan, China, Korea, Chinese had a whole little pipeline that went. I forgot where it ran through. It ran through the Middle East, and then they came through Europe, and like it was crazy, bro. And then they was getting dropped off over there. They was paying $5,000, and they was bringing them into the country.
Yep. And what's crazy is at that point,
So like people think
and less than
it was just
5% of
like
the migrants were less than 5% of the migrants were Mexican at that time.
it is what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was about to say. Most people think that it was all Central America and South American countries that people was coming from when a lot of them was coming from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
They just seen, it's just like when the riots was going on, you see somebody looting, you run in the store. They saw that it was a free door open. We gonna run in with the group. What's the chances that they catch us? If it's 100,000 people crossing the border, what's the chances that they
Yep.
catch us 100 people?
Yep.
We just got to blend in.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You got all of these situations with migrants coming across and like I've spoken to a bunch of people who are immigrants. I have no problem with immigrants. Like it's fine. You want
Hell
to
no.
come here, it's great. Like, but there's a process, right? Like my grandparents, my great grandparents, They came here, but they did it the right way. Came through Ellis Island. My neighbors, they're
Yeah, my
Mexican. They
grandmother did
came
that.
they came the right way. They got their citizenship, however long it may have taken. And that's the thing that really pisses like the legal migrants, immigrants off, is that they went through
Oh
the
yeah,
process.
I've spoken to a lot of them. I've seen interviews and stuff. A lot of them say that like you just
Yeah.
came here, you came here and skipped the line.
You skipped the line, you got all of these benefits that we never even got, and we had to do it the right way.
Just getting better. Listen, I'm a supervisor for HRA. They was getting better benefits than the citizens.
Yep. Yep. Free debit cards, cell
As
phones,
far
all
as
the
far
vouchers.
as far as cash and food stamps and stuff like that, they was getting
Hmm.
better benefits than the people in the city, than
Absolutely.
like us.
It was insane. It was insane. And
Granted,
all that
I'm not.
and all that
I
is all
listen.
our tax money. That was all our tax money paying for
Yeah,
it.
my thing is like I'm not gonna say they shouldn't be able to go to the doctor. They shouldn't be able to eat, but should they be getting better benefits than the citizens? When I get it, but they did it all under the guise of they gave them insurance under the guise of, well, we don't want them to bring nothing that from down there here and start another fucking epidemic or pandemic.
Mhm.
But the thing, I don't know if you see in court now, where, they all saying like, oh, nobody wasn't getting when they was getting Medicaid, but it's like nobody wasn't getting. But you don't see that they got California in court right now because California and New York, they was calling it the California and New York back door because what they was doing is they was telling them to go to the emergency room. Their insurance is good for emergency care. You can't go for
Yeah.
fucking chemotherapy, but you can go to the
Yeah.
emergency room. So what they was doing was going to the emergency room for things like the common cold and getting their medication prescribed through the emergency room because they can't go to the regular.
Shit is
It was a
nuts.
lot. I mean, listen, like I said, I'm not saying that they should have been denied nothing. No, because we had enough homeless and a lot of enough shit going on, but it was just
Yeah. It
unprecedented in the way they did it, and they just disregarded the people
yeah, and it
from here.
overwhelmed our systems. Like I don't we didn't have that
And
problem
it's
in
gonna
my
take
like
years to recover from that.
I live in the Poconos. Like I live closer to New York than I do to Philly, right? So we didn't really have like when everybody's egg price was like $17, we didn't have that. We got local farms. Like you go to
Yeah, I was about to say,
KFC
yeah,
here, bro. You go to KFC, it's a board on there tell you what farm they got the chicken from today. Like we all of our stuff was we were good, right? So we're looking at you guys like we're looking at all these things like ICE doing these raids and all of these migrants getting all of these benefits and shit. And we're like, damn, that's crazy. That's wild. And we're on the outside looking in, so to say, like, and all we can do is kind of judge. Um,
yeah,
but the problem with me was like the fact that they overwhelmed the systems. There's so many people in New York that are citizens that need the help that couldn't get the help because the hospitals were overcrowded, the shelters were overcrowded, all of these public services were under strain and stress, and
yeah.
people who were actually paying taxes and paying towards it couldn't get it.
hmm
And
and then that opened the door for a whole different thing, like all the prices going up because of that, right?
mm-hmm,
So now that the prices went back down on a lot of stuff, right?
mm-hmm,
You have a lot of stores and a lot of places who are still keeping those high prices because they realized during that people are going to buy it anyway.
yep,
So eggs was $12 a dozen, $15 a dozen. Now the regular stores, the stores that do good business, eggs is back down $4, $2, $3. But then you go to certain stores and they realize like, now you got to give me $8.50 for this dozen of eggs, and you can go across the street and get the same dozen of eggs for $3. But they realize that we can keep these prices up,
yep.
and they're gonna sell. It might sell a little bit slower, but people are gonna buy it out of convenience.
Yep. And what's funny to me is that people always put the blame on the one who they see, right? So when the egg prices went up, everybody's like, "Oh, fucking Donald Trump. He said the prices were going to come down." Not realizing right before he left, Biden had killed millions of chickens. They culled millions of chickens,
Yeah,
which was the
over bird
reason
flu
for
scare.
there you go, which was the reason for the shortage of eggs and all of these fucking and poultry. So, but nobody paid attention to that. They just saw that the prices went up when Trump was in office. So they're like, oh, it's his fault. And it goes back to what
Yeah,
you said
when
earlier.
technically,
People are
if you
kept
look at the
ignorant.
trend, prices went up like a month or two before he actually took office.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
no, yeah. I mean, again,
Yeah, man.
people
Yeah,
rather
man.
have their feelings reaffirmed than actually look at the facts. That's what I've been saying to you. Like a lot of people, even with all of this stuff going on with Trump, people are presenting their feelings as facts, and other people are just agreeing with them and running with it. Because my thing is like, okay, you don't have to like the guy, like him, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. You don't get to lie, or you don't get to present something that you think or you feel as a fact, and then have this whole fucking movement moving behind you, and the shit is made up.
Mhm. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't support how ICE is going about any of this shit, right? Like, I don't think that people should be where they don't belong. Like, if somebody just walks into my house, I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing? Like, you don't belong here." So I don't think anybody should be anywhere they don't belong. But I don't think that if you're a federal agent, you should be covering your face, having no identification, and like just physically assaulting people. Like they're ragging these people out. Like I saw one
Yeah,
video. I don't,
it's
and
fucking
with all this AI, I don't know what's real and what's not any fucking more. But so this one video where ICE is trying to rip a guy out the car, and he's having a seizure, like literally having a seizure as they're ripping this dude out the car. And people
really
are filming it and they're yelling like, "Yo, he's seizing up. He's having a seizure. He's having a." I'll send you the video after we get off, bro.
that's crazy. Yeah, I
It
just
was
watched
insane.
one. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of shit. Yeah, I don't agree with a lot of that either. I don't know. That shit is kind of a cash grab too because I've been seeing a lot of videos recently with these guys. You know, I don't know if you know the guys, but they'll go to like the courthouse downtown Brooklyn. They like bailing people out. You know,
Mhm.
regular people like, oh, you got a stupid low bail, and they're bailing people out.
Okay.
Well, they found out that if they go to 26 Federal Plaza, a lot of these immigrant detainees have bails, and you could
Mm.
pay their bail and they'll be released just like a regular citizen while they wait for their court date.
Oh. Oh, that's another thing Mamdani wants, no cash bail.
You know, I get I get that. You know, I understand the problems with it, but I also get that because it's like we innocent until proven guilty here. So if I gotta pay you to get out of jail before I'm proven to be guilty, that's unconstitutional. You know? So I get it, but then also it's like, what the fuck you gonna do? Let everybody go for every crime? You know,
That
so
gives no incentive to
that shit is
anybody.
hard to figure out. That shit is hard to figure out. But do I think people should just be being held? Because think about it, you could be held for a year before you go to trial, and then you get
Mhm.
found innocent at trial, but you lost a year of your life. You lost everything. You lost your house, your family, everything for some shit that you didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a two-sided coin. It's like there's somebody who did something. We know we did it. We just got to go to court so we can prove it. And then there's people where it's like, I didn't do it, but you got me sitting on fucking Rikers Island with these criminals. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's a double-edged sword, like, with all of
yeah.
it, right? So, like, with even with the immigration, I'm not for ICE doing what they do, but on the other side of the coin, I'm looking at it like, okay, even if you're a law-abiding citizen, right? Even if you were here, you're an illegal migrant, you've been here for 25 years, you've never done anything wrong to anybody. But here's the reality of it. If I work somewhere, if I worked anywhere in this country for 25 years and did not pay federal taxes, I'm going to jail for tax evasion. So when you're locking up migrants who have not paid taxes, you have two choices. Put them in jail for tax evasion, where we have to keep paying for that, or deport them. So that's where I see it, right? Because they'll lock me up for tax evasion, like any day of the week, right? So they're not doing anything to them that they wouldn't do to us in the sense of the law, right?
Yeah, that's
Now,
another argument I had with somebody. Like they've been locking us up for years in the same
mhm,
fashion.
mhm.
Like you know
Like we grew
that
up in stop and frisk area where they
they
used to
might have
whip
had a
our
bad they
asses.
might have had a badge on, but they definitely run it down on the street and
Mhm.
throw you in the back of a van, and then nobody will see you for months.
Yep. Yep. We've been going through that our whole lives. So I understand it. Like you have to understand that everything has two sides, man. Everything has two sides. Like even with this Venezuela stuff, you've been following that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Wait.
So
Yeah. I've been uh to an extent, not really, because I feel like that's another fucking distraction. But I do see fucking 25% of the warships that we have deployed in the waters is fucking down there right now. Like he really trying to invade that shit.
he's really trying
But
to
I was
invade
having
it.
an argument with somebody the other day because Obama went to say, "Oh, you know, Trump placed a $50 million bounty on on Maduro's head."
Maduro.
No, he didn't. the The State Department already placed a $15 million bond on his head, but they wasn't getting no results. So Trump raised the
Mhm.
amount. He
Yeah.
didn't place the actual fucking bounty.
Yep. You know what pisses me off about that though? I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna come back to Venezuela, but I'm gonna pivot real quick. Cause what pisses me off about that is that Trump wants Maduro, right? Oh, fucking he's said they're sending drugs into our country. Okay. I get it. You're blowing up these people on these speedboats, which is crazy to me. But I get it. Okay, cool. You want to
Yeah,
stop the influx of drugs into the country.
yeah,
All
because
right.
one of those boats could easily be somebody smuggling people and not drugs.
Yeah, absolutely, and you don't blow up. You don't just kill people. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
right?
you have no idea knowing that from the
And
sky.
a lot of these countries, they recruit very young. So a lot of these people you growing up could be teenagers, 13, 14 years old. They're kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forced into this way of life. But you'll put the bounty on, or you'll raise the bounty on Maduro after the DOW, I guess it's Department of War now, puts the bounty on him. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but yet you'll have Al Jelani, who was on the FBI most wanted list from ISIS, who just
Oh,
changed his
in
name
the
to Al
Oval Office.
Shara, and now is the president of Syria, and you
It was in
bring
the
him
Oval
and
Office.
you got him in the Oval Office. You got him get talking at the United Nations.
And
You got
then
all this
then
shit.
but that was one of the times I kind of respected a reporter when the reporter said that.
Mhm.
She asked him, and then my thing was when she was like, all of these 9/11 families, because it came out that all of those terrorists was trained and they was from Syria and trained in Iraq, or was it the other way around? Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Syrian,
Syrian. A lot of them
but
were
they
Syrian.
trained in Iraq under Al Qaeda and Afghanistan.
Bro. It is nuts. Like
And
the
then on
fact that
top
we
of that,
have
did you see that he's selling them fucking, what is it, 5 fighter jets?
bro, like what the fuck? The shit don't make no sense. Like where is our we're improving our military, but weakening our security in every aspect. We're giving Qatar
You
a
know what it
fucking
is?
military base in Iowa?
Yeah, that doesn't make any
What
sense.
the
It's the
fuck?
same thing. Well, why the fuck are we allowing China to buy farmland in America?
I respect governor of Texas. The dude in the wheelchair.
Abbott.
Yeah, Governor Abbott. I respect Abbott because he banned it, banned Sharia law, banned Chinese people, Chinese government from buying land down there, banned anything that is not American. And I don't have
I'm
no
not gonna
problem with
lie,
Muslims. Don't get
him,
me wrong, none. But
no. But
we this is
you have
not
the
this
right
is
to
not the
practice
place
your
for Sharia
religion,
law.
but you don't have the right to influence. But that, what's my thing about that? You don't. And he's 100% right on that. But then they have to do the same thing to the Jewish people who have their own communities and have their own fucking
Absolutely, right?
police force.
Like in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. I used to live over there. The
Yeah,
entire
Williamsburg, East
area, bro.
Flatbush.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's
yeah, East
crazy.
Flatbush, the same thing. They got their own fucking police force. You'll see a car and you think it's a cop car, and they see the side of that shit and it's in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That makes no sense to me. Like that absolutely should not be allowed. Like
Yeah, like you have
it,
the right to practice your religion here 100%, but you don't have the right to come here and change the law, because if you wanted this to be like where you came from, you should have stayed there.
absolutely. I completely agree. And most of the protesters and stuff who wave these flags would never even want to go back to their home country.
Most of them can't go back.
Yeah. Yeah. Like gays for Palestine. First of all, no.
First of all,
that,
that
that
shit, I ain't
that
gonna lie,
don't work.
that shit made me laugh so hard when I saw that, bro. I was
Like
like, come
that
on, you
shit
niggas,
don't
y'all
work.
can't,
Like what
y'all
are
not
you
even trying no more. Y'all can't be serious.
bro, bro. Like that shows you how uninformed and uneducated people are that just want to believe in something. How strong the need to believe in something is in people that they'll just fucking
Yeah,
have
but that's
blind faith
another,
in some dumb shit.
feelings matter more than fact.
Yep. Yep.
Because
It's
logically, that doesn't even make sense. How could you
it
even make
don't.
that fucking poster?
It don't. Like I don't understand how everybody is so pro Israel. I don't. I'm not anti Israel. Like I don't. I'm not for Zionism. Like what they do. And I'm not against Israel at all. But my thing is like, how is Israel America's greatest ally? What do they do for us? What have they done,
Have us in a headlock?
bro? Like we're in a what do they call the Stockholm syndrome? Like we're their captives. We're a bigger country than them, but we're their captives, and we just placate to them. Like, oh no, it's okay. They're great. They're wonderful. We go there. They're spitting
Yeah,
on Christians and all types of stuff. But oh no, they're great. They're
everybody.
wonderful.
Uh, but I don't know, bro. That shit is such a weird situation, because
Yeah.
when it comes to them, nobody wants to say anything. Don't get me wrong. Yes, 1,000%, Holocaust was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then y'all allow them to run this card for the rest of forever, but then tell black people to get over slavery in the same breath. It doesn't make sense to me.
Does not make sense. Does not make sense. They're the only persecuted people that are allowed to win with the victim mindset.
Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
I don't see
That's
any other one. And again, I don't have no problem against Jews or
no, hell
Jewish
no, not
or
at all.
anything like that.
You don't have to
Do
have
I
a
agree
problem.
with
That's
the
my thing, and they
Zionist
call
government?
everybody.
No, I don't like Bibi
Yeah,
Netanyahu. Fuck him. Straight up. I don't like Bibi
yeah.
Netanyahu. But
I think and that's another thing. Yeah, like I said before, we can have an opinion or whatever the fuck we want.
mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say? Like, you don't have to have a problem with them to point out preferential
Absolutely.
fucking situations and behaviors. You know, they get away with
Absolutely.
shit that they get away with shit as that me and you as citizens could never even fucking think of.
Never. 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 And like you said, you don't have to have a problem with them. Like, I don't have a problem with my kids. I don't have a problem with my wife. I don't have a problem with my mom. But if somebody does something wrong, I'm gonna point it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah. It's
Um,
just, you know,
but so, okay, so cool. So now let's swing it back to Venezuela, right? So because it kind of goes in tune with what we were just talking about. So now we designate Maduro a terrorist, right? The leader of the cartels in Venezuela, terrorist organization that allows us now to go on land in Venezuela, put boots on the ground in Venezuela because we've designated him a terrorist now, so we can go over there.
yeah.
Here's the issue: Russia, China, and Iran have all dedicated their support. Iran just sent them fighter drones, right? So now what happens? If we have boots on the ground and China, Russia, or Iranian military armaments or equipment kills Americans, now what happens?
This is what I'm saying. At
All
what
for all
point?
for oil, all for the oil, because that's all it's about. Venezuela is number one. The number one
Oh
supplier
yeah, I
of
know.
oil in the world is Venezuela.
I know.
Venezuela is the only country in OPEC that is not in the Middle East.
Yeah. Well, listen, that like you said, that's another thing, and that's the closest thing to us. But my thing is, we, well, you know, bro, that's what America is known for, bro. What
Yeah,
we know, we are the land of war.
yeah,
We the land of the smoke.
yeah. Our slogan should be "Might is right." Like
Yeah. So it's like
we
get
just
with
go,
it or get rolled over.
and like to
People,
save face, we don't like.
America look at places and be like, you know what? They can use a little bit of freedom over there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, bro. That's what I'm about to say. Like, we to save face, we don't go over there and like take the country. We just go over there and help them get democracy. We help
Yeah,
them
we've
establish a new
overthrown.
person,
You've done so many regime changes, bro. We can't even fucking count them anymore.
bro. Like, it's so much weird shit going on. Like, look at Mexico. How in an election where the most candidates in history were assassinated,
38.
the most in history, a female Jewish woman wins the
And th-
presidency.
but do you see
Nigga,
all the riots and shit
what,
that's going on right now?
bro? Bro,
They lit the Israeli consulate on fire.
they fucking stormed the Mexican governmental palace. Wrote
They're not
fucking in
fucking around.
Spanish. Wrote Jewish bitch on the fucking gates. Like, bro,
Yeah, they're not fucking around because she's
they
in bed
not.
with the cartel, supposedly.
Absolutely, bro. How else would a Jewish
Which is not
woman?
hard to believe. You know, they like money.
Absolutely, bro. How else would a Jewish woman win the presidency? Especially in a year where the most candidates
But you
are
see, the day after
assassinated.
she won, you see the day after she won, she took a picture with the CEO from BlackRock,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear, you know, like you said, there was 38 candidates assassinated in that election. 38.
Insane. 38.
Come
38.
on. The
38
fact that 38,
native
the fact that
Mexicans.
38, yeah, the fact that 38 of them got killed, they should have just like, you know what, we're not even having an election this time. We just gonna keep the motherfucker we got.
Yeah, we need a little bit more time to figure this out.
Yeah, something ain't right.
So go crazy here. Like, it is insane. Like, even in Sri Lanka, I believe it was Sri Lanka, they banned, like, I think TikTok or some social media shit got banned over there. And Gen Z stormed the Capitol and fucking like threw the prime minister into the fucking river and shit, bro. It was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
The shit is on camera, everything. Like, they recorded this, and then they had an election on Discord, bro. Like, Gen Z end up having their own election for the new prime minister on Discord.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Crazy, son. Like, this is where the world is headed if motherfuckers don't start stabilizing themselves. Because Gen Z is erratic, bro. Gen Z
Well,
is.
you know what it is? They sick of what we was talking about earlier, the government
Mm-hmm.
overreach and the didn't listen. That's why a lot of people say they for small government, and a lot of people argue with them. But I understand what they're saying. There's no reason that the government should have any dealings in my day to day life.
Yep. Like, there's certain things I get that I can't avoid, like street lights and stop signs. That's government shit. They decide, okay, what streets have these, that's local government. You know what I mean? Your borough councils and your mayors. But those are the only things that actually
That's
like keep me
another thing that a
safe
lot
is
of people have been
okay.
fighting. That's another thing that people have been fighting constitutionally because technically in the DOT in every DOT handbook, like the Department of Transportation and
Mm-hmm.
in the traffic codes and all that shit. When you read the wording, that shit is technically only if you're operating in commerce. So a lot of people have been fighting that shit too, and a lot of people been. It takes a lot of time and money, but a lot of people been beating them shits because unless I'm a fucking truck driver or a cab driver or I'm moving some shit for money, I'm just there's a difference. But that's another thing. Like I was telling you about the gun law, they changed the wording and then they make legislation for it. They changed
Yep.
traveling to driving, and
It's all in the verbiage, bro. It's all in how they
mhm,
word it. It's and that's what sticks in the court of law. It's about what it
yeah,
says, not what it means.
yeah, and then people are not aware, so you just going in there saying,
Uh-huh.
ah,
Yep.
there's so much. It's too much. It's a lot to take in. I'm not gonna lie. So I see why how people be like, yeah, I've been studying constitutional law for the last fucking 30 years because
Yep.
there's definitely 30 years worth of fucking material to study.
Hell yeah. And shit is always happening so much. Like the
No
Constitution
matter
never
how much I
changes,
learn,
but the
no
way
matter how much
people
I
choose
learn,
to
I turn the
interpret
page
it.
and read some shit like, what the fuck?
Yep. Yep. I have a pocket Constitution that I be trying to
Me
walk
too. That's
around.
so funny. Me too. Shit is like this big. It's blue.
Yeah, yeah.
I swear to God. Yeah, I swear
Yep.
to God, I got one too, and
Yep.
I carry it with me for the most part everywhere I go. Because
Yeah, bro. Cause there's too much government overreach, man. Like
yeah, and
fuck
then
this.
when you try, let's just say, God forbid, some shit happens, and you talk to a cop, and then that shit is a lot to remember.
Hmm.
It's good to have that shit like what? Flip to the page, like listen.
Yep. Remember your 4/5, all of that, man. Like,
Yeah, it starts getting hazy when because those are the ones you use all the time. But you start,
hmm.
you'll tend to forget the
Yeah,
Third Amendment, the
we got
Sixth
some
Amendment,
we got some amendments in there that's like it like no like soldiers can't stay
no soldiers in the home.
no soldiers
Yeah,
in the home during war. It's like what? First of all, we don't have soldiers in America during wartime since the Civil
yeah.
War,
We
right?
can't have we can't have boots on the ground here,
Yeah, exactly.
with
So
with the
um,
exception of the
the
National
National
Guard.
Guard and Coast Guard. So other than that, I mean, like certain, I get it. These were because that was allowed in England at the time. Like they would be at war and they would just take refuge
A
in the
lot of people
home
don't
and shit
realize
like
that's
that.
where a lot of our laws come from.
Exactly to oppose it because we didn't want to be like
English
them. So
maritime law.
a lot of our laws was to go against what they were trying to impose. That's why we left. Not we, but that's why the forefathers and such left Europe and Britain and shit because they were like, nah, fuck that. We don't a tax on everything is ridiculous.
Yeah,
A
which
tax on
is and
tea,
and then that
the fuck,
and then
tax
look
on
now.
stamps.
And
And
look
now look.
now. It's a tax. We pay taxes on everything willingly.
Mm-hmm. But then we could thank fucking Alexander Hamilton for all that fucking shit.
Yeah, but but that's another thing. If you read the paperwork, we are in a voluntary tax system. It says that in the paperwork. You don't have to pay taxes. Like, so them locking you up for tax evasion and all that shit, that's another violation. They're not supposed to do that. But they do because nobody fights it. But you're
There's
in a
so many.
voluntary tax
If you
system.
look at the law
If you write
library,
on your federal tax forms when you filling out your forms for your job, underline four. If you write exempt in that little space between line four and the next section, you go tax exempt for all federal taxes.
mm, there's a lot of little things that people don't realize, bro. Like, you know what's crazy? That to
And it
me,
works. I've done it before. You could do it for 6 months at a time throughout the year without having to
nice,
explain yourself to nobody. But
nice,
yeah, if
bro.
you do it for too long, they'll try to get at you. But if you could do it for up to 6 months with nobody saying nothing to you.
Dude, there's a reason why they stopped teaching civics in school. They don't want nobody to know these things.
No, of course not.
Like, I haven't seen a civics class. Like, I mean, we've been out of school for a long time, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
none of my kids. I have kids 20,
Our
20
kids don't
years
even
old
take
to 1 year old.
economics anymore.
No, they don't even write in fucking cursive anymore. They don't know how to sign their names.
They took all of the analog clocks out of a lot of schools because kids
Hmm.
can't read them.
Instead of teaching them how,
Just get rid of them.
let's just get rid of them. Let's just like support the crutch, right? Like fuck
Yeah,
that, man. No, we can't do that kind of stuff, bro.
they expect
Like
them to do nothing.
we dumb down, we dumb down our youth so much. Like we claim all the time the children of our future. That's the future of our nation. But we
When's the
dumb them
last time you've
down.
heard that, bro? Nobody even says that anymore.
Nobody.
They
Nobody.
don't
I mean,
care.
I do it because I have a lot of kids and I want them to be
Yeah, well,
successful.
I mean,
But
like you. That
in
used to be on
society,
TV. That shit
it's
used to
not a
be
societal norm anymore, right? The
no.
societal norms now are inclusivity and equity, which is fucking ridiculous.
And the other social norm that gets on my fucking nerves is if you don't agree with me, you're my enemy.
Bro, first of
That
all, if
shit
you don't
irks
agree
my
with me,
fucking nerves, bro.
depending on what it is you don't agree with. If I'm a minority and you don't agree with me, you're racist. If I'm Jewish and you don't agree with me, you're anti-Semitic. if I'm a woman and you don't agree with me, you're fucking toxic man. Like if I'm a man and you don't agree with me and you're a woman, you're a feminist. Like, bro, people can just have fucking opinions.
That's what makes the world the world. You're supposed to have fucking different opinions. I had
That's
to
what
tell
makes this
somebody that.
country
I had to
not
tell somebody
China.
that, like, bro, like these political debates and talks that we having, these used to be fucking barbecue conversations between neighbors. Like we used to be, oh, that's how you feel, that's how you voted for.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Why you voted? No,
What do you
now it's like,
think
oh, you
barbershop
voted for
talk
fucking Trump.
was?
Yeah, now it's like, oh, you fucking voted for Trump. Get the fuck away from me. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
people
listen,
don't
bro.
want to like they lose family over this shit. I'm like, dude.
People's people's feelings is more valid than anything these days, and then
Mm-hmm.
they use that under the guise of like, oh, anything. They'll say, I'm fucking protecting myself. Protecting yourself from what? Somebody else's opinion?
Like, are
What are
you
you
that
talking about?
gullible? So being around this person was just gonna
Yeah,
influence you to being.
the world is not a fucking safe space, and nobody has to kowtow around
Yep, yep. And then the majority of people they don't even they're
you. That's why
so
people get into this world and you see so many people fucking breaking down and having these mental breakdowns. They realize like this is the real world. Shit is hard.
yeah, yep, yep. And that's another reason why I don't think I'll ever move back to New York, bro. Is because like
Well, I
it's
wasn't in New York for a long time. I just moved back to the city. I was in Jersey for 5 years.
okay, okay. Yeah, bro, it's a facade. It's like nothing is real. Everything is dependency because if the city decided, like, obviously it would have happened, but if today the city is like, you know what, we're not providing any of these services anymore, motherfuckers would die within a week.
Yeah.
The population would be decimated because nobody knows how to survive without government dependency in
There's
major
no, but
cities.
even if you do, there's not really living in New York City, not New York State, but living in the city.
Yeah, in the city.
If something did happen, where the fuck you going to go to farm some shit at? River Park?
You're
Like
not.
there's not, you don't even have the space or the facilities to do the things in order to survive.
The infrastructure was
All the
created for you
food
to
is
be
imported
independent.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the food is imported. Even the stuff, even if it comes from upstate, all the
yeah.
food in New York City is imported.
The only place you can really get, I don't want to say the only place, but one of the only places that I found in New York where you can really get like actual shit, and you still got to go to a store, is like going into the Bronx where you can get like go buy live chicken, kill that shit
Oh yeah, I
yourself
know.
and cook it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they got
so
yeah, they still got some of those, but like you said, those are hard to find. You
hmm
find those mostly in, to tell you the truth, you find those mostly in like areas that are predominantly still Spanish. Like if you
yeah.
go to Corona, Jackson Heights, you see those, but you don't see it. You definitely not find one of those in Manhattan, like
When you go
lower
around
Manhattan,
when you
Midtown.
go around communities where the people are still heavy in their
People,
culture, like Jamaicans, they don't depend on the government. Them motherfuckers get it how they get it. Hispanics, like people talk shit about Mexicans, bro. Mexicans get it. Like they get
yeah,
to it, bro. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So and they don't depend on the government
bro.
because they never saw the government being there for them. So
Bro,
they're
when I
like,
was
fuck it,
living
we
in
gonna figure this
Jersey,
out.
bro. Yeah, when I was living in Jersey, bro, no lie. Mexican people bought the house right next door to me. It was no lie. It was probably like 15 of them in there, bro. But everybody was hustling. And you know what's so crazy? A year and a half after moving into that house next door to me, they bought the house next door to that.
That's
And
how
they
it
just kept
goes.
doing the same thing. They ended up having like 5 houses in the neighborhood.
Bro, that's my goal. Like I'm trying to have a compound with multiple houses on the property for
Yeah,
family and such, right?
family compound is
Exactly.
definitely the move.
So like,
Hi.
bro, bro, my like I feel like a big problem of ours, like as minorities, and I want to say like because Mexicans are minorities too, and Indians are minorities, but I want to say like as American minorities, like blacks, Puerto Ricans, shit like that, like Dominicans, like stuff like that.
I don't
We
even think we are the minorities anymore at this point,
no,
to be honest.
that's quite true.
I
That's
mean, it's
quite
the
true.
label that we stuck with, but I honestly don't think we're the minority anymore.
You're right. So, but using that label, we're not taught to do shit together. We're like, oh, you're 18, go get your own crib, go do this, go do that. You're a man now. That
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
together, like if I have a
Makes
house,
life so much easier.
so much easier, bro. If I have a house that's 4 bedrooms, why are 2 of these bedrooms for guests? These shit should be filled with family members or people who live here
And
that's
we
all
all contribute to
contributing.
one crib.
Exactly. So
That's how
instead
they
of my
build
rent being,
that's how all these other that's how these all these other people build their wealth.
oh yeah, so you got, so like
Indian
say you
families
got
stay together.
a
Chinese families
house
stay
that's
together.
2,500 a month. You got 2 adults there, they're paying 1,250 a month each. If you got 5 adults there, you done drop that down to like 600 each. If you got 7 to 10, now y'all are paying like $300-400 each, and you can save up the money, pool that together to start a business or buy another property.
Yeah.
And then like, bro,
Bro,
this
seeing
is
how
honestly,
fast they did that shit living next door to me, I looked at it and I was proud of them. I was like, "Yo, we got the game fucked up,"
yep.
because
Because even if they're all making the bare minimum, right? Let's say they're all making $15 an hour, right? So like $15 an hour in minimum wage is what, 30,000 a year, some shit like that, 24, 30,000 a year, something like that.
yeah, like 33, I think, right? Something like that.
Yeah, right. So we can even do the math real quick. 15 times 40 equals 600 times 52. 31,200, right? So not a lot of money at all these days. $15 an hour is not
Nah,
much. But when you got 10 people in the house making $30,000 a year, that's $300,000 a year coming into that house.
that's what I tell people. That's what that goes back to what we was talking about as far as getting married and getting tax breaks. Like, you make 40,000 a year, your wife, you make 50,000, your wife makes 40,000, 45,000. When y'all get married, this is now $100,000 household.
Mm-hmm.
But singular, I
Mm-hmm.
make 50,000.
Yep. Now that brings you to a different tax bracket. Now you get different incentives. You get different possibilities
Get
for
different,
loans. You get
get
all
different
type
discounts, and
grants.
get all types of shit.
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything, bro. Like people don't understand how much you I would love it if instead of complaining about how other people took advantage of the system, we just did the same thing. The system is there for you to use. Like it's built a
yeah,
certain way, right? And if it's built a certain way for certain people to be able to sneak in through the back door, follow them in. What the fuck? Why not?
yeah.
We can.
Like they wrote it into law, right? That I don't know if you know this, but I told you I was a supervisor for HRA.
Mhm.
The Jewish community, the wives come in with all of their kids and apply for benefits, being fully married, and they're allowed to put down that they're single. They don't have to put their husbands on the paperwork at all. And this is how they get all of these big incentives. And you see Jewish
Huh.
women get food stamps, and then their husbands still own properties and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of loopholes and shit that are written into law and policy that people have no idea about or don't know how to take advantage of. Like you said, nobody, like you said, nobody wants to do any type of independent research when it comes to anything. They just want all the information given to them. So somebody will give
Mhm.
you the bare minimum, and
Yeah.
you'll get the bare minimum out of what you're trying to get.
And what blows my mind is that the access, right? So we had Google for fucking our pretty much our entire lives. Like we could always Google something. Before that it was like Ask Jeeves and shit, right? We always had the search engines. But now it's like fucking we got AI. So you can really find anything that you need to know, like deep dive into anything. But people instead of
Yeah,
using AI for research or for like for positive things, people just want to make like stupid ass videos of like
yeah,
Bigfoot getting chased by ice, some stupid
yeah,
shit like that. Or
yeah, yeah.
like what the fuck, dude? Like we got all this technology at our fingertips. We should be
The age of
like
information,
mega minds, bro. Like our
hmm
brains should be fucking pressing against our
bro.
skull
That's how.
cavities.
I mean, I've always been curious and inquisitive, but that's how I got into keeping on top of the politics and looking into all this other stuff and learning all of the constitutional. Bro, if something pops into your mind, you can literally type it into Google and it'll tell you. And if it don't tell you, it'll give you a link to where you can find it.
But that's the beauty. Like we're at a point in existence where we
You
can
can know
fact
anything
check
you want to know.
ourselves on everything.
Yeah, you can know anything you want to know at this point. Like
You can take a
anything.
picture of you take a picture of a food and AI tell you exactly the calories, the potassium
Yeah, but
content.
that's why a lot of jobs. But that's why a lot of jobs these days are saying like they're not. They're saying, yeah, we want you to have a bachelor's degree or relevant knowledge and experience. As long as you
Certifications in
know
L
what the fuck you
AI.
talk,
Yep.
yeah. Because you might not have went to school, but you might fucking know what you're talking about. Because
Mm-hmm.
these days, school. I'm not gonna say school is indoctrination, but these days is school has
Ah, it
always
is.
been
It
what
is.
can you memorize. It's never been let me teach you this.
Mm-hmm.
Because these
And the
days
fact that
there's
every
no
school's curriculum is different. Like this school will teach you this part of history, and this school will teach you this part of history, but it's the same time frame. The
yeah,
fuck?
and then another thing is like, bro, in this day and age, there's no way like me and you, we're gonna start school together. We're gonna learn everything together at the same time, at the same pace. Where these days we know better. You might be better at science. I might be better at fucking math or writing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason that we should both be focusing on the same shit. Like, push these kids
No.
to learn the shit that they good at. This is obviously what he's good at. All right, so
Yep.
boom, he's good
Yep.
at math. We're gonna still teach him reading and writing and stuff, but we're gonna buckle down and focus on this math because this is what he's good at. This is what he likes. You know, like
Absolutely. And we need to give.
everybody's not taught the same way, and they've known that for years. They've known some people learn better hands on. That shit
And
ain't. It's not new news.
we got to give these kids, like this newer generation, the incentive to want to work with their hands, bro. Because like there's a crazy
And,
deficit in plumbers, electricians, HVAC, construction workers. Like it's getting to a point where motherfuckers are so complacent just sitting behind a keyboard or like DoorDash and some shit or like doing something that's really easy. Like even if it's not easy, like the coding apps, right? We got like the new generation Gen Z. They're the ones making all the AI and technology and all of this shit. Great, wonderful, cool. But who's gonna go to school to be engineers to improve our electrical grid to maintain this shit? Because we
mm-hmm.
can't have a nation of electric cars because our electrical grid can't fucking support it. It'll be
Bro,
impossible.
this is
New
my
York
thing
loses
about it.
power because of air conditioners in the summer, my nigga.
We can't. Yeah, that's a fact. And we can't support. My thing about that shit is we can't support that anyway. First of all, we use fossil fuels to produce the electric cars and to charge them, so they're not never going nowhere.
And the amount of
And
kids that we're
and
killing
there's
with
the
lithium
argument that
mining.
the electric cars are worse for the environment, for the mine, and for the cobalt, and then having to dispose of these batteries.
Yep.
And them shits is 2 times heavier than a regular car. A
Yep.
Tesla is heavy. A Tesla is heavier than a fucking Chevy Cavalier or fucking
And if
Cadillac
you get into a
SRX.
car, you get into a wreck, battery, a
I should have
fire
light on
going off
fire,
that
and you
battery
can't.
acid, that shit burns hotter than anything
Yeah,
else.
that should catch. And if that lithium battery catches fire, you can't put it out. You got to
You
just let it
can't.
burn.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
And these days, that's the entire bottom of your car. Like they got the technology where the whole bottom of your car is a fucking battery.
Mhm.
So I don't. Yeah, like we need more of the youth to be more hands on, bro. Like it's great to do all these inventions, but if you don't have the infrastructure to support all of these advances, then what are we doing here? Like if you look at China, don't get me wrong, I don't think communism works for the people at all. Like people under communism, look at China, they have protests all the time. The youth hate it there, right? But it's one of the most beautiful places in the fucking world. Like you look at Wuhan, where the COVID started, bro. That shit is gorgeous, bro. Like their skyline and everything is insane, immaculate, because the government owns everything. They own all the
Yeah.
businesses, they take all the tax money and shit like that. So, but they have the infrastructure to support that. They make sure that they have enough engineers. They can rebuild an entire bridge in 2 months. Where we have, you live in New York, how long the scaffolding been up in the city? But China rebuilding bridges in 2 months. Nah. I mean, it's still built in China though. Like it's still made in China. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what you're getting with that. So, but I'm just saying, like, they're making it to like it looks really good. You know what I mean? Like, but that also makes like their pollution is ridiculous. Like their pollution problem is insane. Their air pollution,
Well,
their
you got
air
to remember
quality
they
is
fucking
insane.
produce for the entire. They production for the entire world though. So
Mm-hmm.
of course that they're fucking pollution. They make everything for everybody.
Yep. And and in America, right? So America wants shit as cheap as possible. Everything is so double-sided, bro. Everything's a double-edged sword. Americans were like, oh, I'm not paying that price. I'm looking for the best bargain I can get, which is coming from Indonesia, China, Vietnam, shit like that. But you're
And
also
Mexico
against
now
and Mexico now, but you're also against slavery. Well, you know these are
can't
kids.
be both.
Like it can't be both, bro. You want cheap or you against slavery? Like, but the one they're gonna
They're
take
against
is the
slavery that they have to see.
exactly. I was about to say they're gonna ignore the one that's out of sight, out of mind. They know to get these cheap prices, this is what's happening, but we don't see it. We don't see these kids being
The
beat
new
and shit like
iPhone
that.
sell out before it's released. Yeah,
How many kids
shit is
died
crazy.
mining cobalt and lithium? A bunch.
There was just a mine collapse the other day, 2 days ago. A mine
Hmm.
collapse over there in Africa. Shit killed 80 people and injured a couple hundred.
And they're trying to do it in America now too. So didn't they just find some lithium mine in the south
Lithium
somewhere?
deposit.
Lithium
Yeah,
deposit up in
yeah, yeah,
North
yeah.
Carolina or some shit like that, right? Somewhere down south.
Somewhere along that belt. Yeah, but quietly, we've always mined here. There's been an active diamond mine
Yeah,
in the United States for fucking decades.
yeah.
Nobody pays that anymore.
There's a
We
place out
there's
west
not
where you can go
we
mine
out
gold
but
for
we
free.
outsource but we outsource so much shit that people forgot that we used to be an industrial fucking country
Yep.
because
At
we
one
outsource
point,
everything these days.
everything said made in the USA, not made in
Mhm.
China. Then we
But
we
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 allow these
outsourced.
companies to outsource
Yep, we
jobs.
outsourced our manufacturing and decided to build up our corporate sectors,
Yeah,
and that's
and
what
that
ended up
shit
happening.
is yeah. But now we at the peak of that shit. Now we up here. There's nowhere else to go as far as that. And now the goods that support this corporate side of things are becoming hard to get, too expensive. It's a lot.
Yeah, we're
That's
being
why you hear
conditioned
all
to
these
not.
fucking defense companies complaining like, "Oh, we can't get chips because we outsourced our chip making to fucking Taiwan, and
Taiwan,
if this
and
one
that's
factory
bro,
doesn't make enough chips, then
and
we
that's
just
why
don't have them."
America, can never let China take Taiwan, bro. Because if they do,
Yeah,
it's over.
and it's for the simplest shit. That's the crazy thing. It's like something about the way the glue. They got some special glue to where they could stack these chips a way that we can't stack them. Like no matter what we try, we can't do it.
It blows my mind. We're in 2025. We're splicing. We can see an atom, right? We can see a fucking proton and a neutron, but we can't figure out the method that they make these chips.
We just removed the gene from the human DNA that causes Down syndrome.
But we can't figure out how they
But
fucking
but
how they
we can't make a glue. Shit
bro.
is crazy, bro.
This shit, and I get it. Some things
And
you
then you
have
know
to
what's so
have
funny
like
about that? The fucking machines that we fucking editing these genes with was probably made in fucking China.
yeah, yeah. With so and don't get me wrong, I get it. Certain places have rare earth minerals that can only be used for these things. Like these things don't operate without these minerals, and we don't have the rights for them, so we can't develop shit. Get
But
it? I got it.
the thing about that is that's not true either. If you look into that shit, China is not the only place that has these minerals. China is the only place who has a factory to refine the
Yeah,
minerals. A
Ukraine
lot of the
has a lot of
minerals
the
that they're
minerals too.
refining for us, a lot of the minerals they're refining for us, we send there to be
Mm-hmm.
refined.
Yeah.
That's just like when I found out that the US sends the chicken from the US to be processed in China and sent back here because that's cheaper than just processing it here. Blew
Mm-hmm.
my fucking mind. It's like,
The
what the
biggest cost
fuck?
in that is customs. The biggest cost in that is transport shipping.
Yep. And
That's
this
it's
and
crazy.
it raises the profit margin so they don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. This shit
Shit is
is
like the Twilight Zone when you start looking into that shit.
bro. Everything is so backwards. Like it's just
Fuck
we're
out.
taught one thing, but reality is another thing. But our personal reality completes to be something completely different. We're just in one of those worlds, man. We just in one of those worlds, I guess.
Yeah,
Such is life. Such is life.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's what we allowed it to become.
No, absolutely.
We can't, we could complain about it all day, but we watch this shit happen. Not necessarily us because we just at the age now where we could do something, but the generation before us
Bro, we influence a
wasn't.
lot of this shit.
Yeah, but
Like and
now
I
that
wanna
we're adults,
I wanna say
40
our
years ago, 50
generation,
years ago, when this shit was actually starting, we couldn't
yep,
do nothing. Our
we couldn't do
parents would have
shit.
had to do something.
Yep, we couldn't do shit. Now we're getting the
And now we
residual
stuck with the
effects.
we stuck with the repercussions of having to try to fix shit that we didn't cause, and we don't know where to start because we don't know how it started.
Yep. And we're and at the same time, we're generating our own issues, right? So one of the major issues out here in Pennsylvania, being specifically in the Poconos, we're an area where it's like a lot of forest, a lot of woods, right? It's a lot of greenery and it's a
Yeah, I come
scenic
down there.
area. Yeah,
I
it's a
come
scenic
down there a
area.
lot. I didn't know you was down there till
Yeah,
you
I'm
started
right here in
posting
East
that you was
Stroudsburg, man.
running.
I'm right
Yeah,
here.
no, I come there all the time. I go to Jesus Christ, Aquatopia all the time.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. My kids love
my
that shit.
sister has a house right there, right by Shawnee.
That's where we getting married. We getting married at Shawnee next year.
Shit.
Yeah. So fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so over here, a problem is overdevelopment, right? So we're getting a lot of warehouses and factories built. Like we have a Walmart super center. Those are huge.
Yeah, no, I
Behind
haven't
it,
seen one in a while, but we had one in
bro,
Jersey.
behind it, we have a warehouse that's about 6 times the size of that Walmart. The shit's insane. It's massive, right? But here's the thing, and citizens, like the residents, they're all complaining, oh, this is ridiculous. All these warehouses keep popping up. So I had to, I mean, I thought I was gonna catch some backlash from this, but people actually acknowledge their faults. So I'm seeing this on Facebook. They're complaining about it. So I decided to chime in. I'm like, look, we do this to ourselves. Nobody wants to go in store to shop anymore, right? You want to shop online. Well, these products have to be housed, they
Stored.
have to be stored. So if you're doing all this online shopping, where do you think they store these products? In your local areas. That's how you get 2-day shipping. You think that they're doing 2-day shipping from China? You think they're doing 2-day shipping from all these other places? Like, no, they're not doing 2-day shipping from these spots. It's areas that are local to you that they have the fulfillment centers, right? So
That's funny you said that because I literally just I got a next day delivery last night at 10:30 p.m. last night from Amazon.
yeah, exactly,
Like,
bro, and that's how they make it
where you
happen.
think it came
Like,
from? And I know where it came from. Like, it came from Brooklyn or something. Like, it was
and
sitting in a
even
warehouse in a
exactly,
refrigerator, and they brought it.
exactly, and even with fuck, what was I gonna say? Um, I forgot what the fuck. But anyway, with that, we're ordering shit. We all these stores are going out of business because of us. All these warehouses are popping up because of us. We're getting more and more lazy, spending more and more money, complaining that we're broker and broker.
Yep.
Bro, it's all self-inflicted. And then we have
And
to
that's
deal
what
with
we're
all the
signing up
problems
for.
from before.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? You bring that up. I said that to somebody from the hood was telling me that it was complaining about all stuff that's going on, where we grew up.
Mhm.
And I was just like, yo, they post all the time that they having these fucking community meetings and y'all never want to go to them. It's like I went to a couple and literally I'll see a couple of older people, like my friend's mother might be there, but nobody in our generation, but we the ones
Nope.
that complaining the fucking most. And they were saying that because, well, you probably don't know because you haven't been there in a while. But
Yeah, the one LIC project.
hey, that shit is owned by the parks department now. You can't park back there. You can't
Yeah.
drive back there.
They're
Always
claiming they're
been a
gonna
street.
they're
Drive
claiming they're
back there.
gonna rebuild it with that one LIC project.
Yeah, the fucking half of Vernon Boulevard in front of River Park is all fucking city bikes, and the same thing on 21st Street. They took away over 40% of the parking, and everybody's complaining. Oh, they keep doing this to. They keep that because they build up the plaza. They put all of those
Mhm.
buildings up there, so they kind of made like a straight shot from Queens Plaza down the back to go to River Park. But everybody's complaining about this shit. I'm like, yo, y'all complaining about this shit, but when they had the community meeting about it, and you guys could have went there and signed the petition, you didn't.
Yep.
But then you want to
Yep.
complain about it.
That's a fact. So people don't go to like I realized that out here when I went to started going to community meetings, when I started like getting into the
This
politics
shit is really
locally.
informative.
It's super informative. You learn about all your tax codes, like everything that's being raised, why they're raising it. You
Mhm.
also learn that these community leaders don't know shit.
Nothing.
You go there and then they're just talking heads. Like, okay, so what is the reason you did this? Well, we came together and made a group decision. But why did you make this decision?
Exactly.
Why are you displacing X amount of residents to create 14,000 new affordable housing units? But you're displacing people who technically already in affordable housing because they had low rent because of the area that they were in. Right?
Mhm.
Now, why are you causing all of these new properties that you're building? Yes, it's it's affordable housing, but guess what? You got to pay the property taxes, so tax rate's going to go up. So the surrounding areas, everybody in surrounding areas, their rent is going to go up.
And look what happened to our neighborhood where we grew up. They built up Queens Plaza. They put all those high rises up there. Remember
Mm-hmm.
when we grew up there? Yes, there was apartments and stuff. There was, people we lived over there. There was a lot of people. There was other neighborhoods, but technically that was considered an industrial area, which is why the rents and stuff was so cheap. They built up Queens Plaza so much that now in the projects they are making a lot of people pay water bills now. You got to pay fucking. You don't got to pay for electricity, but you got to pay for your AC in the summertime.
Insane.
And then people are complaining about it, and that's another situation where it's like, yo, y'all didn't go to these community meetings where they said this shit was gonna happen, and you could have protested it.
Yep.
Now, 6 months down the line, when the shit takes effect, now we want to cry. Well, bro, you got to be proactive. But that's where I learned that we got to stay on top of the shit, and that's another reason I got into staying on top of all the politics and all this funny shit that's going on. Because if you don't know what's going on, then they just do anything to you.
They'll do whatever they want to you, bro. Like they'll do any and everything possible that they can get away with,
They'll hurt you and convince you it's for your own good. Shit
bro.
is crazy.
Like they'll like it's like that meme they want you to believe, like where it's the person riding a bike and they're putting a stick in their own spokes and fucking
Yeah,
complain.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what we do, bro.
That's a fact. Trip ourselves up and then cry
We
about it.
trip ourselves up and then cry about it and blame other people.
Shit crazy.
Like I'm looking at the proposal for this one LIC project, right? So new housing, approximately 14,700 new homes, including 4,350 permanently affordable units.
Yeah, do you see the fucking do they still have the light rail that they want to put from River Park going into Brooklyn, running down the river, going from Queens to Brooklyn?
I don't see that.
I
Put
don't
the
know if that's still
transportation.
there. Yeah,
Let me see.
that was part of a proposal they had. It was like
Let's
a
see.
light rail
So
system.
with the transportation, they got 30 million for improvements to 44th Drive, 13 million to improve transportation at 21st Street and 41st Avenue, including new bus bulbs, I guess lights. 700,000 to install a new public restroom at Court Square, so for homeless people to sleep in. Um,
Yeah,
what else we got here? 10 million to improve connections to Queens Waterfront Gateway. Now, what does that
yeah.
mean? That's
That
the light
was
rail.
they wanted it to be a light rail, but they thinking about just extending the ferry services that we already have that go into Manhattan. They're
Mm.
thinking about just adding stops going down Vernon into like Greenpoint and Williamsburg.
So this is what stands out
But
to
they
me, right? This is what stands out to me about this. The improvements to NYCHA residents. Specifically, on here, the only improvements it has, because only NYCHA in that area is Queensbridge, right? So we got 98.3 million in investments for Queensbridge houses north and south to replace or repair 80 elevators, fix 2 sinkholes and an underground water pipe, add new playground space, and install new compactors. So they
well,
want to.
no, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
My question is, repairing 80 elevators, how long is this going to take?
Well,
How long will
that's what
people on the 6th floor not be able to get on the
that
elevator?
that's what I was going to get into. They actually already replaced a lot of them. What they're
Nice.
doing, what they're doing is they're not taking, like, you know how some of our buildings is connected. They're not taking entire strips of buildings out of service. So they'll do like one building in this line and one building in this line. And it's like you either got to walk up the steps or you could go in the building next to you and take the elevator up and then cross the roof if you live on
Across
the
the
sixth
roof.
floor.
Yeah.
But my thing is, right, we did need to upgrade on elevators. But more than we needed the elevator replaced, we needed them to change that the elevator only goes to the fifth floor and put it to the sixth floor for these older people.
Absolutely.
And the elevators that they're putting in, they're like the same elevator, but they're way smaller. I could barely fit in that elevator with my stroller. Like if I get in the elevator with my stroller and my kids, we are in there cramped. I'm squeezed by the buttons. The elevator is so small. So these older people who have these walkers and stuff have a hard time in those little ass elevators. So y'all
So
replacing
I can
these
imagine somebody in
elevators.
a wheelchair.
Yeah, replacing the bigger elevators we have with smaller, cheaper versions. But it's a newer elevator, but it's smaller and it's cheaper.
So and that's where we get to the shit, right? Everything that they develop becomes shit, right? They don't want it to show like anything that lasts. So $98.3 million, and you got smaller elevators. Insane, in fucking insane, right? Then they got that 5.3 million to improve the Jacob Reese Center. Have they started doing that yet?
I didn't hear what you said. Somebody had
Oh,
called in.
oh no, it's all right. It says 5.3 million to improve the Reese. Have they started improving the Reese, the community center?
No, there was something else on that list that you said that they started doing. What was it?
They got the
The
98,
elevators.
the elevators, fixing 2 sinkholes,
No, they
thing,
didn't do that.
underground water pipeline,
They didn't do
add
that either.
add a new playground space.
That they did. When I
Okay.
said to you that but that's the thing. They didn't do it for Queensbridge. The Parks Department took over that back strip. Where the handball court was, it's
Mm-hmm.
still a handball court, but they redid it. They added 3 basketball hoops in it.
Okay.
And then further down, as you get closer to River Park, there is a little like playground space with tables and chairs and shit, and a little playground area. But that's not really for the residents of Queensbridge. That's for the people from the plaza or
So
anybody else that comes that way. It's not
here's
really for the people. They
yeah.
just put it under that. They made it sound good. That's not
Yeah. It's because it extends into, because it's part of Long Island City, technically, right?
exactly.
So here's the things that stick out to me, right? 1.9 million. And this is not it's portrayed as an improvement, but if you're a resident of Queensbridge, this is not an improvement. 1.9 million to relocate 55 parking spaces in Queensbridge Baby Park to allow for new construction of open space.
But that's what I just told you a few minutes
Yeah,
ago
like,
when I said
yeah,
to
what
you
do
that they
you
took away 30% of the parking.
mm-hmm. That's
They
crazy.
made that back strip. You can't drive down to the park no more. And on Vernon and on 21st Street, they put so many city bike stations. And instead of putting them on a sidewalk, they put them in the street. So now you can't park.
That is
But then they want to give you tickets. And then that's my thing, because it's like, yo, if everybody from Queensbridge start parking up there in front of them new buildings and those people who live in the buildings can't park there, then they're going to try to change something else.
especially because in the new buildings, when you have those spots, they charge you for parking spots.
Exactly.
So here's another thing. Develop, and this is wild. To me, these next two things are contradictory because it's gonna fuck up. Develop a new operational waste yard at Queensbridge Houses South. So y'all gonna have a fucking garbage dump in Queensbridge.
They already have that. It's not really a dump. It's more of like an open air compost. Bro, that should be smelling so bad sometimes because it's like they compost there and then they take the compost from there and they bring it around the city.
And then the very next thing though, develop rat mitigation measures at Queensbridge Houses. How
They
are you gonna
tried that
mitigate
already
the rats? You can't mitigate the rats
while
if you
having
have
garbage.
while having garbage. How? How do you do that? How
But
do you keep
before they
starving
even
rats
tried,
from going in
before they
there?
even opened the composting, they tried that. They gave a contract to pesticide a rodent company to get rid of all these rats because the rats in Queens was fucking ridiculous at one point. Like like run across your feet while you're walking through the block type crazy. Like it was crazy.
bro.
I remember one day one was running through the grass. I tried to go in the building and that shit ran in the building. I was like, not
Yeah,
going in
they're
there.
looking for, especially now, they're looking for warmth. They're gonna be in them
Yeah.
buildings. They're gonna be on
Yeah.
all of
But
these
they
shit,
did some
bro.
shit, bro, where they dug up along the front and sides of every building and then put wire mesh down and fucking put rat poison down. That shit didn't do anything, bro. And when the rat problem exploded like that, when all the new people who from outside moved there and they started complaining about all the
Mm,
cats that was wandering around, all
yeah.
the cats that was outside. They started complaining about that, so they got rid of the fucking cats. And literally, as soon as they got rid of the cats, the rat problem exploded, and then everybody started crying. You should have left the fucking cats alone.
You
It's part of the
you fucking up the
ecosystem.
ecosystem. Yeah, exactly. You fucking up the ecosystem. Like,
Yeah, they keep the rats in check. They might not eat all of them, but they make them rats be like, nah, I ain't fucking going out
yeah.
there.
The easiest way to control something, like control an animal problem, is to introduce their natural predators. If you got rat problem, have cats. Why do
Yeah,
you think the
and
cats
it's
are
not
in
like
the
the
in
cats was a nuisance to humans. They don't
bro? Why do
fucking
you think the
bother them.
cats are in the poppy stores? To keep the fucking rats out, bro.
Exactly. They
That's
don't
why the cats are
fucking
in there.
yeah. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. I know you got some things to do. We're pushing up on 1 o'clock, man. I know you got
Yeah, I just gotta go get my daughter, but like I told you, I'm free. I literally it takes me an hour to go get her. I'm free again, so
yeah,
tomorrow
great,
or
man.
whatever, well, anytime.
We can definitely pick this up. This can be a to be continued episode because I definitely have some more things I want to talk to you about. This was a great conversation, bro. I really appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
definitely. Thank you for having me. I'll let you know when I get home, and then you let me know when you want to reschedule the rest for.
Sounds good, man. Thank you
Want to do it
again.
today? We could do it today.
Yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, we could probably maybe we can pick it up today. We'll check it out. Yeah, definitely let me know. Either way, we're gonna definitely continue this episode. We'll have a part two. Um, but yeah, man. Thanks again for your time, bro.
Thanks for having me,
And
man. I
yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
Stay blessed and yeah, bro. To everybody who's watching, much appreciated. Smash them likes, them subscribes, whatever you fucking watching on. Share it, all that good stuff, man. So until next time, peace.